Hello everybody, welcome to the Case Kitchens. I'm Mrs. Mather. Let me show you a super easy way of putting together a chicken noodle soup. And the way we're going to do it is we are going to use two pans. So I have things set up right here. Take a look. I'm going to start preheating both my pans because in one of the pans I'm going to put some chicken broth, or rather make some chicken broth, and in the other one I'm going to do some vegetables. So I am going to fill this one up with water. And I'm going to turn the heat on to high so that the water comes to a boil. So here's 4 cups of water, and I'm putting it here, and the water is going to start boiling soon. And on this side, I am going to preheat this pan, and while this pan is preheating, I am going to turn on the stove here. It's on medium heat, and I'm going to prepare the vegetables while the pan is preheating. So to prepare the vegetables, I already have cut up some onions, and I'm going to cut up some carrots and some celery. It's really up to you how much you want to add, but it'd be a good idea to add at least about a half a cup of celery, a half cup of carrots, and a half cup of onions to about 4 cups of soup that we are making today. You can always add other vegetables too. So you can add spinach, you can add mushrooms. I also have some mushrooms here, peas, whatever you like. So I'm going to cut up some celery. So while the vegetables are being prepped, your pan will be at the temperature where you can now add some olive oil to it. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil. You can approximate just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Okay. So as this is preheating, I am going to add a little bit of garlic. So this is about a teaspoon of garlic, and you don't want the garlic to burn, so you're also going to add, after a minute, when you see the garlic sizzling just a little, you can also add the onions to it. So I'm adding the onions. Alright, once you see the onions are starting to cook, you can also add the celery and carrots at the same time. You may want to add a pinch of salt because salt will help in softening these vegetables. You don't want too much because chicken broth or chicken base that we are going to use already has a lot of salt. I'm also going to add a pinch of pepper. It adds a little kick to the soup. You can also add some mushrooms. So I'm going to add 1 mushroom to this. And all this time, while my vegetables are being prepped, the water is boiling. And I can add noodles to it once the water comes to a boil so that it cooks faster. And another thing that I want you to add to the water is some chicken base, because this will make the chicken broth easier for us to make. So we're just going to measure out 4 teaspoons of chicken base to add to make our own broth. I'm just scraping it on the side like this, so that I get the right amount. And then to this, I'm going to add a cup of noodles. So that's 4 teaspoons of the base to make our own broth. If you make this soup at home, you don't need to do this step because you can use pre-made chicken stock that comes in packets like these, and you simply need to add noodles to that broth to get the noodles cooking. So do stir your vegetables so that they keep cooking, and add a cup of noodles to the broth. You can use any kind of noodles that you like. And have to cook the noodles for the amount of time that it says on the package. These noodles are going to come together and become softened in about 6 minutes or so. So in 6 minutes, we will combine both of these. That way the vegetables are cooking here, the noodles are softening in this, and your work goes faster. Once your vegetables are done, if you want, you can also add the cooked chicken to it. You can add the cooked chicken to the vegetables, or you can add it to this pot. Doesn't matter. We just want the chicken to be heated through, because this is like pre-cooked frozen chicken that we're using. So I'm just going to add it to the vegetables here, just so that this can heat up along with the salt, pepper, onions, garlic, celery, and carrots, just to absorb the flavor. And in about 6 minutes or so, I can combine both of these. And it really doesn't matter, because this has already been cooking. The onions seem to be getting softer now. And I can even combine it right now and just let it all cook in one pot. In fact, if you have time at home, you don't even stack 2 pots. You can just do the whole thing in one saucepan. So start out with adding oil, add your garlic, add the vegetables, add the chicken broth, add the noodles, and cook it all together in one saucepan. Here we are doing it in 2 in the interest of saving some time. So at this point, I am going to add these vegetables that are starting to look soft into this one. Turn off the stove. It's smelling so good here already. And one more thing that we can prepare while the noodles are becoming softer are any other herbs that we want to add. So today, on the cutting board, I have some parsley, and I'm just going to try to mince the parsley. So I'm going to move this aside. And I'm going to make a bundle of this. Hold the food in the claw grip that you know, and let's run the knife through this. You want to add the fresh herbs at the very end, because you want them to retain their beautiful green color, and you want them to just not become too limp in there. So you're going to add your fresh green herbs that you want to add. You can add parsley or thyme at the very end. So 6 minutes are almost over. Our soup looks good. I'm going to add the fresh parsley now at the very end, and just give it a quick stir. Check if you need any more salt or pepper. And here it is, your freshly made chicken noodle soup. So easy to make. Enjoy.